Welcome everyone. Today we will explore whether IPL 2025 is an economic powerhouse or a social gamble through a data-driven evaluation of revenue, risk, and social advertising. Our client Business Basics is a leading business blogging platform with a strong readership in business content space. This year, they noticed a rising public concern around IPL 2025 advertisements, with over half the ad slots dominated by fantasy gaming app and pan masala brands, raising serious questions about their social and health implications. At the same time, IPL remains one of India's biggest economic engines, driving massive investment, employment, and consumption. So, for their upcoming magazine edition, Business Basic wants to strike a balanced, responsible narrative, highlighting both the economic value and the ethical challenges. Our task was to quantify the IPL 2025's economic footprint while assessing the risk linked to certain advertisement practices. The goal is to deliver a fact-based holistic analysis that speaks to both business enthusiasts and socially cautious readers. And this is the entity relationship diagram for the project. A quick disclaimer, all the data presented here has been sourced through publicly available information using scraping tools such as Perplexity, tailored specifically for the purpose of this research project only. These are my primary and secondary analysis questions defined by the Code Basics team for the project. As we can see from the table, IPL generated a total revenue of 10,390 crore from central broadcasting contracts. Over 91% of them coming from top broadcasters like Geo Cinema and Star Sports. In this chart, I have shown the total number of jobs created by each brand. In total, IPL advertising ecosystem has created around 1.69 lakh seasonal jobs. And the top 5 advertisers contributed around 66% of the total employment. This chart presents the total advertising revenue generated through IPL 2025, along with the GST and corporate tax collected on this revenue. It also displays the combined total tax revenue, that is GST plus corporate tax. In total, advertising activities linked to IPL 2025 have contributed an estimated 1,338 crore in tax revenue. Overall, IPL 2025 continues to be a major economic powerhouse, not only dominating in revenue generation and employment creation, but also making a significant contribution to government tax collections, thereby reinforcing its critical role in India's economic landscape. This slide displays the Health and Social Risk Index score for the top 10 advertising brands by total ad volume during IPL 2025. The index ranges from 1 to 5, reflecting each brand's potential for adverse social and health impact. Fantasy gaming platforms and pan masala brands receive the highest risk score of 5, classifying them as high-risk advertisers. A key observation is that despite being fantasy gaming app, My 11 Circle serves as an official partner sponsor for IPL 2025. This contractual partnership integrates the platform into the tournament's advertising ecosystem, significantly limiting the scope to regulate or restrict the visibility of betting-related apps during the event. Over 13 lakh individuals were adversely impacted by high-risk brands like Pan Masala and betting apps out of 24 crore user base. Fantasy gaming apps accounts for 84% of this negative impact, indicating their dominating role in gambling-related harms. Pan masala brands, though smaller in share, pose a severe health risk due to their carcinogenic properties. Let's take a moment to understand the growing impact of fantasy sports and betting advertisements. Research shows these ads don't just inform, they actively shape behavior. They increase the likelihood and frequency of betting, drive higher spending, and lead to riskier decisions, especially among vulnerable individuals. Problem gamblers are particularly susceptible. These ads trigger urges, provoke relapses, and make it harder to control their behavior, deepening their risk. Additionally, the medium also matters. While traditional ads have influence, internet and direct marketing through emails, app notifications, and social media are far more powerful, highly personalized, and difficult to regulate. They disproportionately target high-risk individuals. This slide forecasts the compound annual growth rate for the top 6 companies identified with high health or social risk index. Fantasy gaming platforms are projected to grow over 13% CAGR, indicating rapid market expansion and increasing ethical concerns. Pan masala brands are expected to grow steadily at around 7% CAGR, signifying persistent demand despite public health risk. So the top 5 celebrities promoting high health and social risk brands in 2025 according to my data are Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar, Salman Khan, Ajay Devgan and Amitabh Bachchan. The analysis also highlights that 3 celebrities, Ajay Devgan, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, have continuously endorsed high-risk brands from 2023 to 2025, further strengthening brand recall and increasing consumer vulnerability. The continued involvement of these celebrities with high-risk brands significantly amplifies public exposure and potentially harmful products, particularly among impressionable and younger audiences. In this slide, I will compare IPL's advertising regulations with international benchmarks such as the NFL. While the global sporting events enforce strict advertising bans during live matches and maintain a robust licensing and ad monitoring system, IPL regulations remain comparatively relaxed. Challenges such as surrogate advertising, unauthorized digital promotions, and limited restrictions on live broadcast ads persist within the IPL ecosystem. Additionally, protections for minors and vulnerable groups are weaker in India. Inconsistent enforcement and comparatively mild penalties, unlike stringent regulations and active oversight seen in the international leagues. So I have prepared a balanced scorecard for each of the advertisers presented in this project based on the 5 key dimensions. And those 5 key dimensions are total tax revenue generated and total employment created are measured under economic contribution, public health cost, health and social risk index score, and the number of negatively impacted users are assessed under the social risk impact. The scorecard categorizes advertisers into outstanding performer, consistent contributor, and underperformer based on their overall scores. This framework aims to promote responsible advertising by rewarding brands that contribute positively to the economy while minimizing social harm. This slide introduces the Advertising Ethics Index (AEI), a composite KPI framework designed to evaluate the ethical standards of advertisements during IPL 2025. A higher AEI score reflects stronger ethical practices. Currently, IPL's average AEI stands at 49.9 out of 100, signaling a concerning ethical environment. Further, we observed a trade-off. Brands generating higher revenues often carry greater social risk, highlighting the tension between income generation and responsible advertising. The AI assesses ads across four key dimensions. First is the inverse risk index, which is social risk profile. Second, the inverse health cost score, which is public health impact. Third is the inverse negative user scores, which evaluates the risk to vulnerable audiences. Fourth and the last is the economic contribution score, which is positive economic impact via tax revenue and employment. Each dimension carries a weight between 10% to 40% to drive an overall AEI score, classifying the advertising environment as highly ethical, moderately ethical, or concerning. This slide outlines a governance framework to optimize IPL's economic potential while protecting public welfare and is built on five key pillars. First, economic growth and industry development. Incentivize content innovation, standardize revenue sharing, and rationalize taxes for sustainable growth. Second, public health and social safeguard, ban surrogate and high-risk ads, enforce timing restriction and health warnings, and introduce a celebrity endorsement code based on risk profile. Third, unified tech-driven regulations. Establish an independent IPL regulatory commission, monitor relationship and ads, deploy AI-driven surveillance for betting, unauthorized ads, and vulnerable audience targeting. Fourth is a cross-sectoral health protection. Align IPL ad policies with national laws on food, tobacco, and gambling. Create a public health risk index and enforce a ban on surrogate advertising. Fifth and the last is the industry self-governance and ethical code. Promote voluntary ethical ad standards, transparency in endorsements, adopt a self-regulatory IPL endorsement transparency charter. This framework balances economic opportunity with responsible and ethical governance to safeguard public interest. Well, let's talk about how we can responsibly balance IPL's advertising revenue with public health concerns. I propose a six-point advertising policy framework. First, content restriction. Ban gambling, betting, and surrogate ads. Limit risky products ads to neutral messaging. Timing and placement. Restrict high-risk ads to post 8 p.m. Use match breaks for public health messaging. Mandatory disclaimer: all high-risk ads must carry clear warnings and helpline risk. Digital governance: enforce age gating, ad moderation, and mandatory sponsored content disclosure. Public awareness: run campaigns on gambling, tobacco, alcohol risk, promoting healthy choices. Monitoring and enforcement: regular audits, public reporting, penalties, and viewer complaints channels. This framework balances commercial interest with social responsibility, setting a new ethical benchmark for IPL. Let's discuss how celebrities can navigate endorsement responsibly, especially in high-stake environments like IPL 2025. I propose a seven-point framework. It starts with evaluating a brand's track record. Is it known for ethical practices and positive social impact? Next, consider product itself. Favor those promoting public welfare and avoid high-risk categories like gambling, tobacco, and unregulated financial services. Integrity in marketing is critical. Messaging must be honest, youth-safe, and culturally sensitive. Before signing any deal, conduct legal and compliance checks, ensuring the brand meets all regulatory standards, and where possible, negotiate for responsible advertising clause. Due diligence matters. Rely on third-party reports, fan sentiment, and expert advertisement. Also, align endorsement with personal values and long-term goals. Short-term gains aren't worth lasting damage to one's credibility. Lastly, monitor and adapt regularly. track the social and health impacts of endorsements, and be prepared to disengage if a brand's practices become harmful. This isn't just about business, it's about leadership, responsibility, and building a legacy beyond. Entertainment is subsidized and research is taxed. Those were the viral words recently shared by Professor Mayank Srivastava, a sharp reflection on the economic spectacle of the IPL. The IPL isn't just cricket, it's a $1 billion machine shaping culture, commerce, and public conversation in India. But while it entertains millions, it leaves behind unaddressed social costs. We have a unique chance not to shrink its success but to redirect a fraction of its wealth towards the health, research, and ethical advertising. This year alone, BCCI earned over 10,000 crore in tax-free sponsorship revenue. Imagine the impact if just 5% of that redirected to fuel social programs without slowing the league's momentum. We propose bold, practical reforms, an ethical endorsement code to curb harmful product promotions, a rehab fund to offset public health costs, and job retaining programs for ad industry workers affected by high risk ad bans. Our 2026 targets will be to raise the advertising ethics index to 65, cut higher risk ads to 30% or less, and block ads with high social risk scores from IPL slots. Because entertainment can thrill, but research ethics and social responsibility builds future worth cheering for. Thank you for your time, attention, and openness to these ideas. The IPL holds immense power, not just to entertain, but to influence, uplift, and lead by example. I truly appreciate the opportunity to share this vision for more responsible, ethical, and future ready league.